I am a real life trader, and I'm here reminding you to be good. And by good, I mean get out of debt and achieve your financial dreams. I'm joined by some very special people, starting off with Angie Barbosa out in Sacramento. How you doing, Angie? I've also
Happy
got my
Wednesday.
yay! I got my dad on the line too, Ed Reed down in Austin, Texas. How are you doing, Dad? Is it sunny and
Yeah,
warm there?
hello everyone. I'm doing fine.
And
It's want you to know I have a lot of respect for real life traders. I enjoy being with you.
well, thank you. Glad you are here, and got the Dr. Christopher Irwin joining us too. I don't doesn't look like Chris has his mic turned on, but Chris, if you want to turn your mic on and say hi, you are more than welcome to do that. Um, Day trading again today was pretty slow. In the morning session, we got in on this little breakout of Express. Enter there, stop there, and it just kind of rolled over and said, boop. So lost and are there. Also did a similar trade off the 1 minute, and neither of those worked out, but that's okay because I traded my plan, and my plan has been back tested and thoroughly tested. And actually, I guess I got called on terminology. It's difficult to back test a day trading plan, so I should say maybe it's virtual tested. At any rate, done it over and over, done and did it, and yeah, all that kind of stuff over and over again. And so I know my plan works, and every time I trade my plan, I can celebrate whether the trade was a winner or a loser. Also been looking at this one. Mobileye had a very nice bullish gap. I'll switch over to the daily. Nice bullish gap across this pivot point, but has been very, very wicky today. Lots of wicks and been difficult to find an entry. I guess while I'm here, the afternoon session, or at least the final hour, is more about swing trading than anything else, and it is weekly Wednesdays, weekly credit spreads. Notice Mobileye has had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Did I count that right? I did. I can count. 7 bullish candles in a row. So it is pretty overextended. It is due for a rest, and we do have a retest gap there. Oh, come on. We have a retest gap there and a retest gap there. So I'm expecting some sort of rollover, maybe down to this area and through here. But I expect to bounce there, there, or there. So watch for that. Those may be good buying opportunities on Mobileye if it fits your plan. And then just checking on the 5 minute again, you can see all the wicks. I was actually watching it in here for the high of the day breakout and retest, but it never really had a clean retest like MAC did about 2 days ago. Neat little double bottom there. Could have offered a trading opportunity, but again, that wick right there made it difficult. So don't see anything there. Express looks like it's not going to shape up. But if you guys want me to look at a day trade, go ahead and type it in. Otherwise, I'm going to turn this off. MasterCard had an interesting breakout here. This line here that we drew is actually the 50 moving average, the EMA on a daily. So some of us stayed out. I personally stayed out because of that 50 exponential moving average on the daily, but some people got in, got really close to 2R, came up here, has really nicely established that this former support, which became our entry criteria, is a new resistance. So it's starting to roll down just now, so I think this thing will go ahead and fall through the floor. Couple of trades we looked at through the day for swing trades. DNR is in a nice little channel. And I don't remember if I talked about it earlier this week or sometime last week, but if you see a stock that's in a consolidation channel like this, I guess this one is in an accumulation phase. If you can draw these bands is the way I like to trade it. Again, this is something you can back trade very easily to get 100 tests. It may only take you a couple of hours, but at any rate, I draw the bands, and when it leaves the top band, here you would sell to open, and then you would buy to close when it enters the bottom band. So that would be a win. On this one, you would buy it as it leaves this band, and I guess I don't know where Yeah, so yeah, I would probably set my stop at the bottom of this wick. So that'd be a little bit of a long one, but come up here and you might have sold here. You might have sold when it crossed the EMAs there, or you may have held it all the way through and then sold it there. You might have bought in again there and held it through that and then sold there. Let's see, this one was a sell to open opportunity and you would have gotten stopped out there. So that is one losing trade out of somewhere between 2 and 4 winning trades, depending on if you exited for a profit in here or held it for a profit over there. And then it looks like there would have been another sell to open entry there and take it down and buy it to close there. But that's how I do my channel trading. And we talked a little bit about this in the first part of the show. I'm not doing anything but day trading right now because I just have so much going on. My schedule is pretty unreliable. So I want to get in and get out because I'm not sure when I'll be able to pay attention to it again. But that is how I would be trading DNR, and that is how I do channel trading. Questions, thoughts, opposing views, type them in. Pat Kaufman is giving things that are gapping. Stephen, or excuse me, having earnings. So is Stephen Jackson and Maria. Thank you guys so much for typing in those tickers. Angie, that's a lot. So maybe we'll switch over and start checking those out. Oh, I wanted to tell you, Jeremy Newsom has gotten a few messages out. And I would say you know, the status of his family is a personal. He hasn't been sharing much. I haven't been asking for much because that is his personal life. And I know he's pretty open that shares things about his personal life, but of course this is his family's life and their personal life. So he may be hesitant to share, and of course we should respect his privacy. But I would say the tone of his messages are grateful for the time that he's getting to be with his family. Grateful that real life traders are sending him so many supportive and loving messages. So Jeremy, if you are doing this, we love you, buddy. Take your time. We're doing well here, and we will be grateful to have you back. But at any rate, spend this time with your family while you can, and when you come back, spend time with us. Cool. Let's go on. Let's see. DNR is not going to have anything more to talk about today. Dollar Tree. Here's one that my dad actually was pointing out this morning. Making a neat little ascending triangle pattern. I guess I drew it once. I can redraw it. Pivot point up here, basically because of this wick. So for me, this is kind of what I'm seeing. I like the fact that we get a little bit of sideways action after this run up. Gives it time to rest, gives it time to build back the buying pressure. I will not be trading this one, like I said, because all I'm doing is day trading, but I do like a swing trade. If we get a close above that line, let's see, a swing trade entry, the one I've got here is 81.26, but any close above this wick, I believe would be more bullish than bearish. And then, let's see, yeah, I do have the right one. If we get below here, I would buy, that's where I would do the protective put. And if it gets below the 50, that's pretty far. Maybe we'll do it below this point. If we get below this big candle and that little pattern there, then I would go ahead and purchase or go ahead and exit the long shares, the shares that I purchased, and then keep the protective put until it comes down to the 50. Because if we do break through all of this, I see no reason why we should not get to the 50 or further. The 100 simple moving average is way down there, so that is not in the way of the target. Questions, thoughts, opposing views on Dollar Tree? Oh, that would be also a break just on the Bollinger Band. Really like that entry. Cool trade, Dad. Thanks for bringing that to our attention. Yesterday, Urban Outfitters had a neat bullish break out of a very long consolidation pattern. And so we were talking about possible ways to trade this. And One strategy would be to enter, let's see, especially after a gap and go, bearish candle here, gaps up, that is a gap and go, is to buy at the open of the following day. I'm going to switch over here to the hourly chart. So this right here is the open of today. You can set your stop at the swing low on the hourly. So I chose this level. Usually you get a better swing level, kind of like right here. After today, you would be able to move your stop up to there, and that would lock in a good quarter of an R profit, third of an R maybe. Well, I say that. Is that more? That may be 1 R. Wow. Yeah, so you could, let's see, it's 3 o'clock. We got 1 more hour. I would be shocked and amazed if it comes down before there. So if you're in this trade, you could go ahead and move your stop up to there. And I guess that is about a third of an R. At any rate, I chose the stop because this looks like a swing low. I would much rather have a swing low that looks like that, but just didn't have it. So that's there. 2R, exit half, and then trail the stop on the hourly for the other half. So that's how I like to trade those. Questions, thoughts, opposing views on Urban Outfitters? Pat Kaufman has posted the link. Thank you. All right. So that is Urban Outfitters. If you have questions, thoughts, opposing views, let me know. Trying to think if I see this bearish rolling down to here. The exponent, that's not going to happen for a while. So we'll just keep on going. Best Buy has a very interesting candle today. We, again, been in a consolidation pattern for a while. This candle right here had a wick that just kind of blew the whole plan, because without this wick, this right here is just an amazing resistance, and that wick just kind of pierced it and just kind of is letting the air out of the strength of that balloon. But we do have a new white soldier today that opens and closes completely above this former resistance, establishing it as new support. So, excuse me. Apologize for that. If we do get a close above today's wick, I would be more bullish than bearish. I would put a protective put somewhere below this old resistance line, new support. And then if we get below yesterday's candle, let's see, below the candle on March 10th, then I would put my stop there, at least for now. The caveat on this is that your entry to stop is pretty far, but you would have a protective put in there that will protect you. So if it does turn south, your protective put will be generating quite a bit of profit for you to cover the losses on Best Buy. Questions, thoughts, opposing views on Best Buy? All right. Chat pane is going crazy about the Festival of Traders. And yes, Mr. Newsom, the Elvis of stock trading, has confirmed he will be there. So LinkedIn still in this Bollinger Band squeeze, looking sweeter and sweeter and nicer as days goes on. I think this is also one that my dad has. I'm really proud of my family. I was bragging about my wife as we were watching the Thriller video during the break. My wife teaches her Zumba class the choreography to the Thriller video, and they do it on Halloween. So I'm really proud of her. And my dad's an awesome trader, got me into it. At any rate, nice little Bollinger Band squeeze here. One thing that I really like about this squeeze is that if it does break bearish, there is a huge void in here, and I really think this thing will move very quickly down to the 100 moving average, perhaps to that pivot point. Actually, that's going to be a soft pivot point. But by the time, I may turn that, okay, I'll leave it that color. The reason I was thinking about making that a darker blue is that I think by the time that comes, the 100 will come up and make that a much more significant pivot point. But if it does get below that, or if the 100 is moving a little bit slower than I anticipate, that will be another target. Besides, what do you know? There's a bullish candle there, and it gaps up. That is a retest gap. So if this thing does break south, watch for the retest. and hopefully we can make some money as it goes bearish. That thing looks remarkably like Best Buy, except for the difference in that gap. So look at this and look at Best Buy. They look kind of similar. Or yeah, so we may have quite a bit of sideways motion here as this thing catches up. So with that entry that I just drew, you may want to bump that up just a few pennies, but as always, trade your plan, don't trade my plan. All right, questions, thoughts, opposing views on LinkedIn. All right, keep on going. Why would you not leave this page? Oh, it's trying to save, but saving it into the wrong one. Let's just go ahead and keep on going. MasterCard rolling down nicely. Let's see, it's we still have 50 minutes, so we got a long time for this thing to roll on down. But if you are day trading this, be aware of the time that may be rolling out soon. Let's roll over, do some of the market indices. Oh gosh, that was total by accident. I did not mean to say roll over and check the market indices. That was complete accident. Oh. Sorry, some people have said, hey, Brad, that's kind of weird when you go, oh, like that. Every time I go, oh, it's because I just saw something that I liked that I had not yet seen before. So sometimes I say that 2 or 3 times. But so for a couple of days now, we've been talking that a good plan would be to wait for the S&P 500 to roll down and catch the 100 moving average. That is catching the 100 moving average. That long tail there is that's a bullish signal. So this thing intraday has bounced. I want to switch over here to 5 minutes, see how significant it was, if it's wiggled or if it has bounced, and it looks like it's just wiggled. So that's not the strong bullish sentiment I was looking for. So I think it's going to go back down and sit on the 100. So we should be looking for a bounce in the next day or two. And that really does mess up our weekly Wednesday credit spreads idea, because it basically, this candle means tomorrow may be telling the tale rather than today on Wednesday. I wonder if there's any premium down here at 202. So here's my thinking. If today holds, which it will, above the 100, and tomorrow if it breaks down, we may get this. So one thing we also talked about earlier is that what we're seeing here looks a lot like what we're seeing here, meaning that we could bounce from where we are, because it'd be a bounce off the 100. It would be a bounce of this pivot point. You know, everything's rested. We're ready to go. But the last time we had one of these patterns, and even this looks like a very small head and shoulder-ish type pattern, came down, and we bounced a few times before having the next upward thrust. For some reason, and I don't know how to explain it, just in my gut, I don't foresee that to happen. But I am looking at this accumulation phase, I'm looking at this accumulation phase, I'm looking at that accumulation phase, and I'm starting to doubt the fact that we have a big bounce tomorrow. I think we may go sideways for a day or 2 or 3 and kind of shake everything out. Test the weak bulls versus the strong bulls, and see even this bounce down here. I'm worried. What I want to avoid is getting a bounce like this. Getting a quick move, say, hey, there's the bounce, boom, and it says, oh no, and then we say, there's the bounce, and that does go up after the sideways motion. So let's play it cautious. And let's just let it see what it does. We can always come up with a plan, and then we can react to the plan. But I think right now, I'm calling for caution, for waiting. maybe I would really like a little bit of sideways move in here. Let this 100 catch up. Let this trend line catch up. Where are the exponentials? Yeah, let these exponentials roll down into this channel, and then let's break out above them. It is the market, and anything could happen. We are quite a bit outside of the bands now, so we should pull back into the Bollinger Bands. So I do expect a bullish candle tomorrow. I just don't know if it's the bounce. It is going to look like a bounce. So I think we will get a bullish candle tomorrow. I'm not sure if it is the bounce. Let's go check the DIA. Maybe we can get more of a feel by looking at some of the other indices. That looks like a smiley face. So the DIA is also outside of the band. Oh, I believe this is an extension of the 100, and we're saying, hey, we want to buy the bounce in through here. Because we are still out so far outside of the Bollinger Band, I think we go sideways, maybe even retrace just a little bit. This has been a very fast bearish move. The market has been very quiet the last several days. So I think the bulls are going to be coming in here pretty soon. Let's check the EMAs. Well, it's going to be below the 50, I know. Let's see where the 100 simple is. 100 simple moving average is coming in very quickly. So so the two things that I've kind of been saying is we either go sideways or we go up, but I don't think tomorrow will be the bounce. That doesn't mean it's not. Trade your plan, and if you don't have a plan, you need to get one, and you need to test the plan before you trade real money. So I think my plan is calling for me to be cautious and wait just a little bit longer, because most of these other bounces have been more than just, something like that. I doubt that will happen. I think we'll wiggle a little bit. We're gonna wiggle just a little bit, something like that before we really break bullish. Those are my thoughts. If you guys on the trading floor have a different perspective, please let me know. So this is the Russell 2000, and this one again makes me think that we're going to rest a little bit. So the others I was slightly bullish to resting. This one I'm a little bit bearish to resting. Even though we did get a beautiful new white soldier, the volume is horrendous. And we didn't get above this key pivot point up here, which was more the neckline of pillars. So I think this is just a retest of the neckline of this head and shoulders. And tomorrow we either go sideways or we come back down just a little bit. So I think tomorrow we rest, EMAs come in. Yeah, we're between the EMAs. We may come down here, get a little bit 50. We do have a retest gap here, and it has so we'll see what we get tomorrow. I would be surprised if we get a big move tomorrow, but that has happened. Stokes are ready to turn around. They haven't turned around yet, but they could. They're at a great location. RSI is certainly rested, and that's everything that we would have been expecting. That's the Russell. Let's check the NASDAQ or the QQQs. So again, for a number of weeks, we've been pointing out this is a retest gap. It retested. This is a retest gap. It retested today. I don't see any more reason for this thing to continue down, except, sorry for pausing here, but kind of like I did on the others, I'm comparing this to a little bit of this. So yeah, you know what, same thing on the others. I think we may have a little bit of a bullish move, maybe get back up here and touch the 20 and the 10, but I really do think we go sideways for a little bit, maybe slightly bearish, maybe slightly bullish, but I think mostly sideways for another couple of days. Let this 100 catch up. There is a trend line in here that I don't have drawn in, but there is a trend line that we're going to get a little bit closer to before I think we have the next real big bullish thrust. So if we do get a big bullish candle tomorrow, be sure to check the volume, because the volume is always my clue of how important said signals are. The had a very low bullish volume today, so that again leads me to believe that the bullish force, the bullish edge, the bearish force, the bearish edge, the bearish thrust, the bearish momentum is slowing down. All right. Holy smokes, Angie, people are typing in a crazy amount of tickers in there. I'm going to have to rely on you to help me know which one we need to go look at. MasterCard looking glorious. Great time to move your stop to break even, or maybe just a little bit beyond break even. We do have 40 minutes left in the day for you day traders. Let's go look at Apple, and I'm just going to continue kind of this theme about comparing what's happened over here to Apple to what's happening right now. Notice just this crazy, insane, bullish gap, incredibly fast upward thrust on Apple. Almost parabolic. Usually when I say parabolic, I have an upward pattern that looks like that. I'm not seeing that here. It just went up like a rocket. So the big question is, what's going to happen on Apple? And I think we get more of this. You know, this kind of sideways bottoming type pattern. We have not yet started. So we haven't yet touched the 50. Notice back here in what is this, December, early December, we did kind of bounce around, did some pinball ping pong action off the exponential moving averages before we went bullish again. Apple, again, I'm going to call for a little bit more of a bearish move, maybe some sideways move before we have another one of these crazy bullish thrusts on Apple. So whatever your plan is, if you bought the protective put, that should be making you some money. I think it will continue to make some money. One thing to watch on this put, usually protective puts are not a terribly long-term put, and Apple could go bearish to sideways for a little bit. So you got to watch your theta decay on that and be sure that you sell it for a profit, and be sure you sell it for a bigger profit than the loss you may have taken on any shares. I guess I say be sure that if it looks like it's going to bounce, or if it looks like we're going to go sideways for a while and you're worried about theta being sucked out of your put, go ahead and sell it for what you can. However, I think Apple may be coming down here to the 50. Let's turn on the simples. Yeah, I really like this circle over here. This X marks the spot for Apple. And yeah, this 100 is coming up a little bit faster than I predicted. So maybe another week or two of bearish to sideways movement for Apple before going higher. So play that according to your plan. Oh, we're supposed to look at bear call spreads. We looked at bear call spreads yesterday up at 130, right? And we didn't see anything. So let's keep going on Netflix. Netflix is a very, very interesting today. So we did call out the double top, or I've been calling that a double top. That's head and shoulder-ish. Well, at any rate, double top, triple top, head and shoulders, all means the same thing. It means we're going to go down for a little bit. Hopefully if you're in shares, you got a protective put at 468. This is a glorious target to sell at. But if you didn't sell it, buy a protective put. You could have exercised your stop and holding on to that put. Now, I do think, and I think we talked about this yesterday, we are at a great location to either exercise or to sell that put for a profit. We have bounced a little bit today, but that should have been expected based on this incredible bearish movement in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bearish candles in a row. Oh, look, there's a bearish candle here and it gaps down. That's a retest, and that wick is the retest. So we could have called for that. I don't think this is the bounce on Netflix. I think we'll go sideways for a little bit, another couple of days, and then decide if we're going to come down here to the 200 or if we're going to go back up to this support, or actually we may come back up here to this pivot point before going sideways again. But Netflix looks interesting, and man, I need one more candle. Bullish bottom, bullish volume was pretty abysmal on this guy. So I don't have a trade set up. Hey, Angie, we set up a trade on tap on the beer company. Oh, did it not save my? Yeah, I cleaned this up and sent it to you, but it looks like it didn't save.
Yeah, but I did send that out to everyone with the video last night.
Yes, thank you for doing that. I wonder if I have it here. Someone was messing with Jeremy Newsom charts on March 11th.
Wonder who that was.
I wonder who that was. That's a good sign. So, yay! All right.
Yay!
So basically, the reason for bringing this up is if you did place this iron condor. Sorry, that's going to be slid off the screen. We're looking at today's candle, and what does it mean? Well, we do have a bullish candle. We are hoping, and I hate that word hope because I like to trade on logic, not on hope. But we were hoping for a little bit of a bullish bounce. I wanted to turn on the EMA if we're way below those, but we usually are in a sideways pattern when we're at the bottom. By the way, I guess I did talk about channel trading at the beginning when I talked about DNR. Where I've drawn the support and resistance lines, again, is another way to channel trade. So if instead of doing the iron condor, if you still want to make money on Molson Coors Brewing Company, you could channel trade it according to the pictures I have here. All of these trades would have worked. Let's see. You could have, it would have been hard to buy there, but you might have bought there, sold there, or you may have sold there and bought there. That would have worked. If you didn't sell there, you definitely sold there. That one would have worked. Buy there, sell there, sell there, buy there, buy there, sell there, sell there. You might have gotten stopped out, but if you didn't, you bought there. You bought there. You might have sold when it crossed the moving averages, or you may still be in. But you know, as with every strategy, it's not 100%, but it is usually greater than 50%. However, if you like that strategy, test. Please, please, please test it. And there's an article. If you go to reallifetrading.com, go to articles, then find the one that says 7 steps to creating your own strategy. All right, going on. I do like volume is the highest that it's been in 3 days on today, meaning that this bullish move may be more significant. So I do think we go sideways or maybe bounce up. Again, I would love it if stochastics turned up. Please, please, please. No. Give it another day or two. But I still like the iron condor. And as you know me, I like the channel trade idea. Questions, thoughts, opposing views on TAP? All right. Let's go on and see what we got. Today's Wednesday, not Thursday. I was like, why am I looking at General Motors and Ford? But tomorrow's Transportation Thursday. Okay, Google looks a lot like Netflix. We have come down to where pretty close to our stop. This is a pretty convincing move below the 200. We tested it to see if we could get above it. I think I'm calling for a little bit another day of bearish movement. Notice the volume on this candle today is pretty pathetic. So certainly our bearish edge, our bearish force, our bearish thrust is running out of gas. Doesn't mean we're going to go to infinity and beyond tomorrow, but I think we will slow down on the bearish move, but I think it will move a little bit further. Maybe down here to the 50, maybe just to this pivot point. But at any rate, trade your plan. Now, I'm wondering, Angie, what would you think about 575 bear call spread? Is that too tight on Google? Man, I sure do like to have more than 2 candles in one pivot point between me and a spread.
Personally,
Let's
I
take a
wouldn't.
look.
Personally, I wouldn't do that there. This is my personal preference, though.
Yeah, I'm just, the problem is it's gone down so fast. I was hoping today would have gone sideways or, you know, or today would have been a bounce above. That would have been glorious. Do a bull put spread down here below the 20 or the 100.
Mhm.
That would have been sweet. Okay, what am I looking at? 580. There's not going to be premium in 585, but if there is, that would be just too sweet. Yeah, no money. If we want any money on a bull put spread, we have to do a 570 and cross our
I thought we were
fingers for
looking
a
at bear
fill.
calls.
Ugh. Excuse me?
I thought we were looking at bear calls.
Yeah, was I looking at puts?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, these are
Calls,
calls.
Okay.
Yes,
It just came out of your mouth. Came out of your mouth differently.
Lord
Sorry.
knows what comes out of my mouth. I don't. At any rate, the best, closest I could place a bear call spread that would make any sort of reasonable profit would be a 570, maybe a 572.50, but either way, that's just craziness how close that would be. So nothing new on Google. If you have any questions, thoughts, opposing views, please let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to keep going through Baba. Got to look at Baba today. Baba on our picture here, we've been calling for some sideways movement, and that's what we have been getting. So yeah, it's drawing just what our picture. I would like this to go another day or two sideways, but I think it could pop bearish tomorrow. And if it does, if we do get a close down here, I would be more bearish than bullish. You might have to have a pretty liberal stop, which which would make me not too crazy about the trade, but it may happen tomorrow. I hope we go sideways a little bit more. Let's see how extended we are. Where they are, Bollinger Bands. Those Bollinger Bands are getting tight. We were outside of them yesterday. We got back inside them today. That does not yet look like a squeeze. The upper band is still going sideways to up a little bit. It's not pointed down. So I think we do have another day or two of sideways, which is what I'm hoping for. But who knows? We may get some monstrosity kind of like that. The bands today look kind of like they did back here, except the upper band is pointing more up than it was there. At any rate, so yeah, it's the stock market. Anything could happen, but I believe we will have another day or two of sideways motion, which would make the bearish move, when it happens, a little bit better entry to stop risk. Yeah, so that would be my plan on Baba. Question is, can we do a bear call spread? The closest I would want to do it would be 86. Can we do it at 86 on Baba? Baba, Alibaba and the 40 Thieves. Options. And, oh yeah, 50-cent strikes. Yeah, there's nothing there. Dang nabbit. So I'm trying to think if we get some kind of glorious fill, but we would not. If we brought that down to 85, that would really be flirting with. Yeah. 85 is going to be just too tight. Yeah, too tight for 3 or 4%. Okay. Questions, thoughts, opposing views on BABA? Doesn't look like it. I'll go on. If you do have questions, I'd be happy to come back. I looked at Netflix. Have we looked at Amazon in the afternoon during the recording? I don't think we did. We have been talking about bearish divergence on Amazon, and there it is playing out. The divergence has not yet shown to be over. However, the indicators have certainly rested. So the divergence that we were seeing here is being played out, so that divergent force, if you will, is gone. And now the question is just how much further, sorry, that's not divergence there. Just how much further will it go is the big question. But now the stochastics, the RSI, and the movement of the stock all agree and they all align. So we could come down here to the 50. We could stop at this pivot point, this pivot point here around 365. The simples are still pretty far away. Bollinger Bands. I think we are walking the band. Yeah, so we are walking the lower band at least 2 days in a row, which is a bearish pattern. I don't think there'll be any premium in a 390. There might be in a 385, and if we did that, the 20 simple at 380 would be our line in the sand. Let's see what that looks like with the exponentials turned on. I do kind of like that. 385, kind of. Not a terrible amount, but it's not awful. When someone describes a trade as not awful, that's not usually the best time to get in. But I find myself saying that sometimes. Oh, wow. Really? I thought there would be at least some premium in there, but there is, you might get 3 cents on a risk of $2.50. So that certainly will not fly. You'd have to get all the way down to 380. 377. Wow. Yeah. So I think one way to get a feel for which direction the stock may be moving that I like to do is take a look at the options. It's a little bit more of a complex. It's more ethereal and less objective and more subjective. But if the market maker is giving you this type of premium on options this close to the current price action, that may be a clue that the market maker anticipates this thing is still going to go down. So if there is good premium in the puts close by compared to the calls, then it's likely the stock or the ticker may continue down. If there is more premium in the calls than in the puts on the same side of the current price action, then that means the market maker believes that the stock will be rolling up rather than down. So if you're indecisive sometimes on a stock, that may be an indicator. Oh, that would be interesting to go back to LinkedIn and check the option premium on the top and the bottom. I'm tempted to do that, but that would take time. I've already analyzed it. It would not change my analysis on LinkedIn, but if you want if you're interested in that theory, go check it on LinkedIn, and that would be an interesting exercise. All right, so again, Jeremy Newsom is going to be doing the Festival of Traders here in about 20 minutes. And Angie, I think I'm going to look at Nike here because it is tech stock Tuesday. Why am I looking at Nike? I don't know. I got it here. We'll take a look at it, and then we'll start looking for some gaps tomorrow, because I think there will be numerous opportunities tomorrow. Honestly, I think tomorrow is going to be a bull trap in the market, but if we day trade it, we won't get trapped. So Nike made a neat little double top in the last week. Bada pop. Neckline, retest of that neckline, and pew! It did stop right here on the 50. We might consider a bear call spread above that neckline. 97 would be tight. 97.50 wouldn't be bad. 98 I like. I wish this thing were below the 50, but now the question is, how far is it going to go? Sorry. I notice we have a high here. We have a lower high here. So Nike might be getting ready to set some lower lows. Let's go take a look at the long term, see if that's going to provide a target for us. Eek. Now I like that bear call spread idea less, because it is at a target at the 100. It could bounce from here, but these lower highs is a very bearish, gives me a very bearish outlook on Nike. Doesn't mean it couldn't bounce, especially if the market turns around. This thing could turn around and go right back with the market. We were discussing in the first part that 80% of stocks tend to trend with the market. You've heard the term, the trend is your friend, and basically that means if the overall market, SPY, Dow, NASDAQ, Russell 2000, etc., if those are going up, it's the time to look for bullish trades. If those are trending down, it's the time to look for bearish trades. So the fact that Nike is making a downward movement, and this, while the market is making a small retrace, basically is telling me that that I'm unsure of how significantly long this one's going to play out. This could be just an elaborate flag pattern on a bullish move. That'd be a really big flag pattern, and a double top on a flag pattern, I'm not sure if I believe it. On a weekly, we have an evening star reversal on weekly. So that does, again, make me more bearish than bullish on Nike. Neat little pivot point on the weekly right down here. Sorry guys, I know I'm taking a little bit of time on this, but I'm very, very cautious about trading bearish when the overall market is bullish. By cautious, I mean I don't do it. And I have to be real careful before I say something. Tomorrow's going to be a key candle. If we get below the 100, we may continue on. I really like the idea of, again, a buy the bounce situation over here. And if that's the case, I've been doing that on a lot of stocks. That could mean that this market is in for a longer sideways to bearish move than I had previously anticipated. Or we could be coming down to this thing, make a higher low, and then continue on up. I think that's what I hope will happen. But I don't trade on hope, I trade on logic. I don't like the bear call spread idea now that the 100 is coming in there. So we'll just keep going. If, yeah, I don't see a trade setup on Nike. So Angie, what kind of, what should we look at first as far as day trades, earnings gaps for tomorrow? Actually, before we do that, Arish, before we do that, Angie, from the floor, are there any other questions, comments, swing trade you want me to look at, especially tech stocks? Richard says, by bull trap, do you mean a bullish head fake followed by further declines? That is exactly what I mean. So coming over here back to the index, this candle right here was a bull trap. So it came back down here to a support, gave a glorious bounce on increasing volume and then just kept on going down. This one is kind of a bull trap. I'm looking for some of those big candles. This one right here is a bull trap. See this glorious hammerish candle closes above the 100. Wick bounces off, gets close to the 200, bounces off that trend line. I mean, that's a great candle to go bullish on. Now, our strategy is to wait for a continuation above that, and you did not get that, so real life traders should not have gotten faked into that. But yes, a bull trap is a something that looks like it's going to be a bullish bounce or a bullish breakout, but then turns around and heads back. This candle, 3 days ago, Monday's candle, might have been a bullish head fake if you were not watching volume. But yeah, those are what I call bullish traps. I think this is probably my best example. Bounces off of pivot, big, huge bullish candle, strong, great close above the neckline of that double top, and then it just keeps on going down. Angie, what kind of tickers we got?
Well, we've got JASO. JASO.
Okay, JA Solar Holdings. It's got good volume. Man, this it's a swinging. I would love a gap up tomorrow above this resistance that's been demonstrated to be very significant twice. Wow. So I'm saying wow because I see all of the bouncing off this line over here. I see that, and it got just hammered all the way down. That, and it got hammered down again. I do like a gap up, a gap down. Let's see, the 100 exponential is at 836. If we gap down below 830, I'm going to call it 835 due to the upper wick of that guy. Actually, no, that wick is at 836. So if we gap up above this pivot point, I would be more bullish than bearish, looking for a retest gap. If we gap down, that would be a fairly nice gap and go. We got 15 minutes left, so it's too early to tell, but this could be a perfect gap and go. Oh, okay, too early to tell. Not going to do it, not going to take time. I'm going to go on to other tickers, but I like a JASO trade if it can get out of beyond either of those two lines. What is next?
Cool. MW.
Ooh, before I do that, let me go take a look at. Oh, nice, guys.
Look,
Very, very nice. Oh, it looks like it.
Exactly.
I think it's 1 penny away from 2R.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, being right one time doesn't mean doesn't mean I know what I'm doing. Okay, guys, here's the thing. We got 13 minutes left. It's touched 2R by a penny 3 times and bounced. Right now, it's retesting this low here. It's being sandwiched in that. So if this were my trade, I would sell half maybe now. Maybe, yeah, I'd sell half now, and I'd drop my stop to there to where that 10 is. And then see if it'll go down, set a buy limit to close out the rest at the low of the day. But you're pretty darn close to 2R. If it gets above here, certainly above the 10, it may have an incredible bullish bounce. So protect yourself on MasterCard. Okay, Angie, what do we got? We got one, let's see. Angie,
MW.
I'm not hearing you. I'm sorry, MW, that's right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The Men's Warehouse. I guarantee it that there's going to be earnings tomorrow. Oh, that was bad. All right. If we get I don't like bearish gaps. I was going to say below these wicks, that would be a gap and go, but not many people are trapped is the problem. there, not there, not there. By there, it's just too far. I'm gonna have to play a bearish gap by ear. See, that's almost a 10% gap to there. People may buy that. If it gaps all the way down there, people may buy it. And then if we gap up to here, that means we have to go from 47 to 52. I guess that's not too terribly high. All right, and that would be a retest gap. I don't think we're going to get that high. That's 52.31. That's 52.50. I'm not crazy about this one because actually, if we get a small gap up just above this pivot point, that would be gapping above the 200, above this pivot, above the neckline of this double top action. That might be enough of a bullish move. If we get above this one up here, especially if we can get above 52.50, the top of this wick, then I would be more bullish than bearish, but we got to be careful of a fade. So I'll clean that up and send that out to everyone. By the way, when I say send it out to everyone, I publish it on TradingView. So if you are following us on TradingView, you should get an email in your inbox. Angie, what would be next?
XOMA.
Thank you. Zoma Limited. Interesting yellow bars I have on my chart. If this gap's down to there, oh, this looks like a really low dollar stock. Okay, I'm not going to trade this. Angie, what's the next one? And while Angie's finding the next one, if it gaps below here, which is about 320, you can take that for a bearish retest. There's a lot of pivot points up here to watch out for on a bullish gap and go. Maybe yeah, I don't know. It's a low dollar stock, so probably not gonna trade it. What do you got, Angie?
Next is DG.
Dollar General. That's in the same house or same area as that Dollar Tree trade we were looking at. Let me get some of this nonsense off my screen. Come on. This one's pretty easy. I would really like a bullish gap on this one, especially the way Dollar Tree was shaping up. A high is 73.53, so I'm going to put my line at 73.53. A gap above that would be a gorgeous, a very nice bullish retest. And the reason I say that is because we have this pattern right in through here. We just broke above it, retested it. Ooh, that's head and shoulder-ish. So we may have some bears in there that would get trapped. But this is just a great bullish pattern, resting pattern. Gives a chance for some of the bulls to get out. And the reason I want the bulls to get out is so that when it does open, we don't just spend the whole day going down with the bulls collecting a big profit. Bulls got out, maybe some bears got in, so quick retest and bam, another opportunity for the bulls to jump in and make some more money. Would love it if that would happen. On the bearish side, obviously this is a head and shoulder-ish pattern, actually a very nice head and shoulder. It has not yet retested. So if we do get a gap down to here, it may come up and retest that. I don't think I like a gap down. I think I just like a gap up. What's next, Angie?
PWE.
By the way, Angie, I know I've said it before and I really cannot say it enough. Thank you for always
I love you,
being there.
Brad. You bet.
I love you, and you are always there.
I do my best.
What? I'm sorry.
What happened? What
I
happened
just
to
noticed.
PWE? We got distracted.
Well, no, I'm trying to figure out what it's doing with my tickers. Okay, so there's JASO, even though it saved it as a different name. This is Dollar General, even though it saved it as a different name. Here's MW. Okay, PWE.
Yes, sir. Messing with you.
It's too low dollar stock. What's next?
Next
Volume's high.
is
Yeah, pity stock.
what?
Sorry, I was.
Okay, MWE. I think it's MWE. Market West.
All right. Some people don't like to trade under 1 million shares. That's 984,000. That's close enough for me. Plus, it's a gap. The 200 is going to be a target, so I want it to gap above that, which means it'd have to go from 61 to 70. That's like a 14-15% gap. That's a little bit on the high side for what I like to trade, but it's not too terrible. And if it would clear this pivot point, that pivot point, and the 200, and it's a gap and go, wow, might be a perfect gap and go. That would be, yeah, I would be more bullish than bearish. If this thing does gap down, that would be 60 down to 57. That's 5%. That's not too crazy. Sorry, I'm talking out loud. I think I want it to get past the bottom of these wicks, and then this makes a nice target. It would be a retest gap. The bottom there is 57.25, and that's also 57.25. The top of this candle, I can't be right. The top of this candle is 54.66. What was I looking at here? Oh, I'm sorry. That's 57.38. And these are 57.25. Okay, so I'm going to say a gap below 57.25 would be more bearish than bullish. What is next, Angie?
SGMS.
All right, I'm going to go to Save As and type in MWE for March 11th. I'm going to click Save and see what this thing does. Okay, it creates this new tab. It says NWE up here, but it shows me the SPY.
Lovely.
And I lose all my drawings. Okay, so it's not me just being a complete idiot. Wow. All right, I've got the tabs. I may have to redo this. Okay, I'm sorry. What are we looking at now?
SGMS.
SGMS. For you guys on the floor, MasterCard, I just go ahead and close out now. You got about 2.5 minutes. Not really expecting this to do much. We have do have some volume coming in. I'd just go ahead and close it out and be done with it. For those of you guys that want to switch over to Mr. Newsom, you do have 2 minutes. We'll look at this one. Angie, are you going to switch over? Are you going to catch it? Do you want to give me a list of tickers and then I'll go on just a little bit longer?
Okay. Yeah. Here, you want me to type them in here so you can keep talking?
Sure. Sure. Typing in would be great. All right. Let me get this pivot point off of there. If you guys are watching on the floor, type in a 5 if you would like for me to go a little bit long and do a couple of extra tickers. Type in a 2 if you want me to get off here quickly and so you can go over to the other one and check out Mr. Newsom. 5 means go a little bit long. 2 means and wrap it up after this one.
We have all of Maria answering you.
Well, Maria is the lady. She typed in some, she had some great questions and typed in some great
Yeah.
tickers. What does she say? 2. What is 2? Wrap it up?
Yeah. 2's wrap it up.
Oh,
I'm
I got
gonna go and
I got an idea, Angie. Okay.
Mhm.
I'm going to write down these tickers. I'm going to do these afterwards. And I'll just
and then you
email
can
them
do
to
a
you.
video. You can do a video and we can attach it, huh?
Oh, that's another idea.
Yeah.
Okay. I will do that. Okay, guys. I am going
Brad,
to not
you're
even
amazing.
finish up
You the man.
this one. So, volume on SGMS I show is 700, and I'm not really crazy about the setup. I'll tell you what, I'll send it out. Guys, thank you so much for being here. You get a chance here in about 20 seconds to show your love and support for Mr. Newsom. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the video off so you guys can go over there and check out that. Guys at home, thanks for being here. Thanks for all your support. Check out some videos that Angie's going to be sending out this afternoon. And as always, trade on logic, not on hope. Have a good one.
Thanks so much.